Hey, what's up everybody? Hope you're having a great day. You're probably wondering, what is a VTuber? What is that? What even is a VTuber? What am I? What am I? If I could move my arms, you would see me pointing at myself right now. Well, to answer that question, we have to go back in time. Do you know those YouTube videos and they're like about some sort of topic, and then they're like, oh, you're probably wondering about this squid and how it shoots ink. Well, to learn more about it, we have to go back to the beginning, 10,000 years. And then it starts at the total beginning and you're like, oh my gosh, just tell me. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like annoyed by those types of YouTube videos. And it's just kind of just like filler. And then finally at the end, at the last like couple minutes, and you can just like fast forward to the end and be like, and that's why squids shoot ink is because of this. And you're like, okay, yeah, this could have been a 2-minute long video. Well, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do, my friends. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. So, sort of. I actually wanted to do a little bit of this is a shallow dive, not a deep dive in VTubing, and it's not like the history of VTubing. It's a little bit the history, but it's more of like an overview because I wanted to learn more about it and the history, and then also like where it's going right now, and or what it's like right now, and then where it's going. Because if you didn't know, am a VTuber. Yes, I might even be anime. If you think about it, if the creator of my character is Japanese, I could be considered anime. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure I am. But let's check out this video here. So I did a little research. Check this out. Look at that. See, I'm an investigator. And so, hold on, let me turn this music off 1 second. Oh my gosh. So, I found this video on YouTube, and it's a shorter one because there's other what are VTubers? What's the history of VTubing videos? And they're like 40 minutes long, and I'm like, let's get a more succinct one. So I found this one. It's only not even 6 minutes, so we're gonna go through it. But I took some notes because she was talking about this is Fillion. She was talking about a bunch of different things, and she just threw them out. And first of all, I couldn't quite understand what she was saying sometimes because just the way she said things was like kind of, what would you call that? Kind of like, like not clear. So we'll find out. But I looked up every single like person or VTuber that she was talking about, and it dates back all the way to 1996. Now some of these are not quite VTubers per se, but it was like the start of VTubing. They're like avatars, right? So they're character avatars that kind of partially at least started the idea. So let's check this out here. This might be really loud. Hold on. Here we go. Okay.
Hello, my name is Fillion, and I'm here to dive with you into the history of VTubers. VTubing has changed a lot from its original concept over 10 years ago into the industry that we currently know it as. Back then, like any other new industry, nobody knew how to make it work, and trailblazers had to figure things out on their own. And to appreciate how VTubing went from a small group of nerds LARPing as anime girls on the internet to a near infinite Pokédex of fascinating characters, let's do a little history.
You see how she talks and she's like, oh, the history, like it's all like blurred together. How do you describe that? But anyways, that's what I was talking about. I couldn't quite understand some of the things she was saying. So we're going back to 96. It's cool, it's whatever. It's cute. Okay, so this character right here, she'll say, this is, who is this? Is this Kyoko Date? I believe so.
It all started in 1996 with someone named Kyoko Date. The idea is for her to be a virtual idol instead of an entertainer, so not quite a VTuber as we know it today. However, the focus on idol culture carried into modern day VTubers, and even though it was cool, it didn't exactly spark a multi-million fan base from the get-go. Now a real
Okay, so wait, is she gonna...
the foundation of VTubing culture was a little someone named
Okay. She's gonna talk about the next person. Let's go to Kyoko Date's little. So this is interesting. This is an old website from like 1996 to like 1998, and this woman, W. Direwolf, she still has a YouTube channel that she posts on somewhat regularly. It looks like she does music and stuff, but she's some kind of artist as well, and I guess, you know, she likes Japanese stuff. And she wrote about Kyoko Date back in, I believe this is 1998 was when she wrote this article. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is just very fascinating because this is an old website. And I don't need to do that. And she's talking about the beginnings of VTubing, basically these 3D characters that were in Japan. And if you like look around on this website too, it's like a blast from the past where she's got like music and stuff, and it's like old. But anyways, so let's go through this. Kyoko Date Virtual Idol. In 1996, Hori Pro Inc. Launched the career of the female virtual idol Kyoko Date. The project was codenamed DK96. Kyoko's first CD single, Love Communication, was released in Japan on November 21st, 1996. CD featured the title song Love Communication, plus a data track for Macintosh and Windows computers. Data track had an MTV-type video of the song, which showed scenes of Kyoko walking through the streets of Tokyo and New York City. So I guess on the CD, she was on the CD, I believe, right? Is that what they're saying? The CD, because, a video of the song. So like back then, you know, there's not really the internet too much. Like this is the internet basically back then. And it was difficult to transfer files and stuff. So I'm guessing that was like the extent of what she was probably TV and video and like CDs and stuff, or DVDs. Were DVDs there? She was a computer-generated person, first widely publicized attempt to launch the career of a virtual idol. VSL Visual Science Laboratory, one of Japan's top computer graphics software houses, was brought on board by Hori Pro to bring Kyoko to life. Working from artists' illustrations and computer-generated graphics, the developers at VSL began developing a walking, talking virtual girl, and they used motion capture. So if you see videos of her, which I didn't save any, but she looks just like a human, you know, moving around, except that she looks kind of like, you know, obviously computer generated. And then she goes on to say, in Japan, trends rise and fall quickly. Unfortunately for Hori Pro, I don't know what kind of company this is. I also didn't look that up. I am a great investigative journalist here. Again, this is a shallow dive, not a deep dive. Failed to bring a greater technology to presence before the initial flash of success of Kyoko Date had begun to fade. Despite the fading fade of the virtual idol in Japan, Hori Pro also missed the greater opportunity of holding the attention of the international market. In America, Lara Croft of the video game Tomb Raider was demonstrating how a virtual being could achieve growing or widespread fame and popularity. To compare, this was Lara Croft. So, is there a better picture? Like this was Lara Croft. Compared to, so I think they did a better job with Kyoko Date. I'm just saying. Having said that, this was a video game, right? It's still also 1996. Crazy. It was like the same time. That's, I guess, when computer graphics were starting to be like, hey, this is realistic, right? Like triangle boobs. And then this was more like animated video, so it probably took a lot more resources than this. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I was into Lara Croft. I wish I was anyway. So people were all over the world were getting into, you know, 3D stuff anyway. It's just here in the States we were interested in. Lara Croft was our girl, basically. And And then basically she kind of died out. The excitement of release of her single began to wane. Nothing more seemed to happen, and the world began to lose interest in Project DK96, which was her, I guess her code name. HoriPro didn't seem to have anything new to add. Kyoko Date's 15 minutes of fame began grinding to a slow death. And the websites have become ghost sites, which is also kind of sad because, like, think of all these old websites that have all this information about the past and they're gone. The days of Kyoko Date are over. And this is very interesting right here. This is cool because she is like talking about back in 98, how she thinks things are going to advance here. She says, the writer of this article, W. Dyer Wolf, that I suspect that we have not seen the last of virtual idols. And oh, how right she was, because they blew up in the last, decade, I guess. As technologies advanced, over the years, they kept getting bigger and bigger, but even more so recently. As technologies advance and the bandwidth available to internet users increase, more advanced technology will create new media forums for interactive virtual beings. Possibly HoriPro will introduce a new version of DK96. I don't know that they did. In the future, and we'll see more of the virtual idol, Kyoko Date. It'd be cool if she made a resurgence, as a new VTuber. It's more likely that a new virtual being will be introduced that learns from the mistakes of the implementations of DK96 and will take advantage of the rapidly developing technology gains to support a more functional cyber being. Kyoko Date will be remembered as one of the first pioneers in the cyber frontier that lays waiting for us to discover. And she was right. She is. She is. So I just think this is a crazy, awesome article. It's wdyrwolf.com with 2 F's in wolf. But, I'll put the links in the description. So yeah, this website's a blast from the past. And if you just go through it a little bit, you'll find some kind of old website looking like, look at this. Pictures from Japan back in the 90s. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. She got some like music and stuff. Some comics she drew. So yeah, I just think this is cool. Like, I'll just show you real quick. Well, I wanted to look at some of the pictures, but you can see them right here a little bit. Some of these from Japan. So then we go back to Filian.
Hatsune Miku.
So she goes to Hatsune Miku, which I have as number 3 here. I believe she talks about Supersonico next, but I got the dates. Supersonico was actually before Hatsune Miku, but that's fine. It's totally fine.
Like Supersonico here.
Oops.
It's a bit ironic. Hatsune Miku and the vocalist scene in general ignited the passion for Japanese otaku culture in the Western world in 2009. It's a bit ironic that a virtual AI kind of started it, and now we have actual AI VTubers, but I'm here for it. Now...
So Hatsune Miku, let's go to her page here. She was, I don't know how much of a VTuber per se she was, because the information so far that I've read is that she is a character for Vocaloid, and Vocaloid is voice software that you can make synth voice for music and stuff. So you can make a voice that sounds like an actual voice, but it's fake, right? It's synth. Hatsune Miku, codename CV01, was the first Japanese Vocaloid to be both developed and distributed by Krypton Future Media Inc. She was initially released in August 2007 for the Vocaloid 2 engine. And so a Vocaloid is a voice, basically, or maybe a voice pack for Vocaloid, the software. She was the first member of the character vocal series. She was the 7th Vocaloid overall, because there was Vocaloid 1, or Vocaloid, which had other voices, as well as the second Vocaloid 2 vocal released to be released for the engine. Her voice is provided by the Japanese voice actress Saki Fujita. So they, I believe, would record actual people voices and then process them and whatever they did to turn them into sounds that you can then use to sing songs with their voices. And so it's not AI, it's like software, and voice, whatever that they saved and created. I do believe now that Vocaloid is using AI. So if we go to Vocaloid, I believe they're at 6, whereas what we're looking at here with Hatsune Miku is Vocaloid 2. But if we search Vocaloid 1, or not Vocaloid 1, but Vocaloid, then they are up to 6 right now, and they're promoting it as AI, I believe. Yeah, AI-based technology created by Yamaha. So I don't know how popular this software is, but maybe it is. And I don't know how good it is these days, but there's actually an audio sample of Hatsune over here. But let's read on a little bit here. So Krypton, which I guess is the software creators, had the idea to release Miku as an android diva in the near future world where songs are lost. All right. Me too, man. Me too. I'm an android from the future also. I'm a life form. It's very unknown what kind of life form I am. So on this wiki, Hatsune Miku is featured in 2,661. So she's in a lot of songs right here. So let's go to YouTube and just listen. So this is her voice. Oh. Anyway, so that's Hatsune Miku.
Moving along the timeline. For a while, virtual characters were used as representatives for Japanese companies, like Supersonico here. They were basically anime mascots.
So she had huge bouncy, Supersonico is in 2006. And so if we go to her page here, this is on Fandom. Most of these articles are from Fandom. There might be one or two from Wikipedia. Supersonico is a fictional character created by Tsuji Santa of Nitro Plus. Her debut appearance was on October 14, 2006. As the mascot for Nitro Plus's annual live music festival event, Nitro Supersonico, which took place at Shiba Park in wherever that is. She worked as so this is just like, every one of these VTubers has sort of a story behind them, fictional, with, maybe some real world stuff, but typically they look like they're fictional. I think I need to have my own. I mean, my real world life is pretty fictional, I gotta say, so maybe I'll just use that. Oh, her favorite foods are macarons. And then in the comments, people are like, unnaturally large breasts that are a fan service trait. She got some big honkers. So, so she's some kind of musician, but that's basically her.
It wasn't exactly the virtual avatar experience that we have today.
Hi.
It all changed in 2011 when a woman named Ami Yamato came up with the idea of virtual avatar as a personal project, and in doing so, technically became the first VTuber on YouTube. Tower Bridge. But the true game.
Okay, so Ami Yamato, they didn't call them VTubers yet. I don't know what they called them. I guess online avatars or whatever. When did they start calling them VTubers? Where did I have that? I have that here somewhere. I don't know. But technically she was the first. So here's her YouTube. She still has posts. So she was from 2011. And the video that she was showing, that Philin was showing, I believe was her first video, this vlog.
Hi. I just had this idea of starting a video diary to clear my hairs and untangle my brain and all that, because I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, and I thought it might be interesting.
Now I have no clue. I didn't dive into this more. I have no clue what software she's using or how she got her character and things like that. The latest one is she's doing like these vlog type posts, but I skimmed through them. I didn't see her actually in them. The one that she was in was this sort of promotional video.
The AY logo, the alien style one, and all the chibi Ami poses. Have a browse at amiyamato.com. You can get it on all the usual t-shirts, hoodies, mugs.
Okay, well, anyway.
Hi
There we go.
everyone. There is some new merch.
So she's promoting her merch, but this was from a year ago. And then her latest one was 4 months ago. So she posts every now and then, like literally maybe once or twice a year. So, but she says that in her information, she's like, I'll post whenever. But it's just crazy that she's still around. Some of these VTubers are still around, but some are like gone. It's just kind of crazy to me.
Changer for VTubers was a little app called FaceRig.
Some creepy shit, man. Oh my god! They see me roll.
FaceRig finally gave everyone an easy way to become digital avatars. It was even used by large VTubers like PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, and Giga, which brought a ton of new eyes to VTubing in the West. And while this was still 10 years ago, it set the stage for VTubers as we know them today.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so I was not following these YouTubers back in 2015. I'm not exactly sure who I was following or what videos I was watching. I can't really remember. Maybe I can look at my history all the way back then. But probably, I think I was starting in like beauty, working in beauty. And so I was probably watching some other beauty YouTubers and stuff for my work and my job, as well as like, yeah, probably that a lot. And then political stuff, I believe, is when I was like watching. Back then I was watching a lot of political stuff, but I'm not sure what else I was watching back then. FaceRig is no longer around. Here's the Steam store right here. But yeah, so I don't even recall this because I don't know that I was watching like entertainment type stuff. It's no longer around, but FaceRig, the company, is now, they created animes. So if you know animes, which I don't, it's basically FaceRig. It looks like it's just like a monthly fee now instead of a one-time purchase. And then I believe you can use it just like a VTubing type app where you can do a lot of customizations and stuff. And I'm guessing rigging, editing apparently. So it works with like live 2D stuff and all that type of stuff. So it's for VTubing and stuff, but it's a monthly paid thing, it looks like. But yeah, I was not watching these videos. And back then, I mean, I've never been into PewDiePie, except more recently because he's doing like more normal stuff instead of this like crazy cringe gaming whatever he was doing.
Tired of sleeping, getting
The next step for VTubers came in 2014 with the emergence of the infamous Island. Focused on making funny skits, Island was massively popular and greatly spread the idea of animated avatars. Island could be considered the final step before the beginning of modern VTubers.
Okay, yeah, so it was Island, and then apparently I believe it was Kazuna AI that actually brought the idea of the name of VTuber. So I'm actually interested to go back and see what they called these characters back then. Was it just animated avatar? Like, what did they actually name them? But Island, this is her fandom. So she was one of the world's first virtual YouTubers, posting her first video on March 3rd, 2014. Pioneering in VTubing, she is described as one of the most important VTubers on Earth, even being fundamental in bringing VTubing to the English-speaking markets. So that's one of the things, like, all these VTubers and stuff was all in, like, Japan and other Asian countries. And it was only until, like, 2014 that it started coming into the United States. I mean, it was beforehand, apparently, but just not, it wasn't popular. And Island is a 20 years old anime girl aspiring to be a famous animator and having her own anime series in the Japanese TV. That's her story. She had a 3D model since 2017. So I guess she switched to a 3D model, but 2022 she ceased activities. So she basically stopped doing anything apparently. Except from then on, it seems like she was doing some management and working with different things like animes, and she had some sort of a team, like a group of VTubers, and I guess she was managing them. H Live, which is now under different management, so I guess she got rid of that or sold it. So I'm not exactly sure how much she's doing these days. Her YouTube is like these animations, but I don't know, like, is she doing them or maybe she's having someone else do these? So it's like animated type stuff, like animes, but not quite that much animated. So yeah, that's Eileen.
Now it's time! With VTubing finally accessible in the West, it's time to talk about the VTuber most recognized as the first real VTuber, and she wore an iconic pink headband. Yep, I'm talking about none other than the iconic big boss herself, Kazuna! Creating her first channel in late 2016, Kazuna Ai's content was short-form, scripted gags, but they quickly became a cultural icon for Japan with millions of fans, setting the stage for every other VTuber to follow. But up until this point, every VTuber has been 3D. Where are the 2D VTubers?
Oh, that's interesting. They were all 3D? I guess so. So Kazuna AI, yeah, most popular YouTube pioneer. Female Japanese virtual YouTuber who debuted in 2016. She's credited with the coining the phrase virtual YouTuber, so VTuber basically. One of the most successful VTubers of all time, reaching over 3 million YouTube subscribers. AI went on indefinite hiatus in 2022. There was a farewell concert. However, AI was the first stream. Okay, so AI was the first streamer to describe herself as a virtual YouTuber, popularizing the phrase and ultimately the term VTuber. For this reason, she's considered the first VTuber, but it's not really. It was Amy Yamato who is considered the first one, which we looked at previously. But, however, on 30th of June, 2024, so earlier this year, her channel posted a video premiere titled Me in the Dream. Over 16,000 viewers, blah, blah, blah. And then there was a bizarre SC graphic live stream titled Sheep, which linked a new website. Here's the website right here. And so basically, if we go to that YouTube channel, it looks like she's making a comeback, which she was gone for, what, a couple years? When did she leave again? 2022? So 2-3 years later. So this was her live right here. Is it still live? What? 41 watching. Oh my gosh. Can you have a live this long? 59 days? This is only 12 hours. I guess it's 12 hours. It says it's started the... Can you have a stream going? Or is this just... Anyways, I don't know how that works. But this is this was the stream, and then this was her wake up video. Let's see if I can play it. Okay, guess I can't play it then. Can you wake up? And it's kind of like her breathing. It's like... Uh-huh. Alright, well, so she's coming back. Now, let's see. Videos. She's got 1.2K videos. So, and these are from a year ago. So I'm not sure what all this is. 2 years ago. Oh, you know what? Since it was from like 2022 when she stopped, it's probably just like stopped and then a couple videos of whatever previous stuff she had planned. So yeah, that's Kizuna AI.
Well, in 2017, a company called Nijisanji wanted to develop a face tracking app for the iPhone 10.
うわワンちゃんだこれ
The first VTubers using the tech were supposed to be advertisements for the new app. However, the 8 members instead became revolutionaries with millions of followers. Oops! With a massive opportunity on their hands, Nijisanji decided to shift from short and scripted content to live streaming. They also moved away from 3D to 2D. Why? Because it's easier and cheaper. Economics. These changes were well received, and thus Nijisanji created modern VTubing.
So this was when VTubing became actual, what we would call VTubing now, because they beforehand were mostly all 3D, and now it's kind of switched to 2D, which replaced 3D just because it's easier. I think she'll explain that, but it's just much easier, cheaper, and also you can like create much more detail in the characters. But Nijisanji apparently were the first to create the teams. I don't know what you call them, but the families, the VTuber families. But it wasn't really originally meant to do that. They just did it to promote their app. But they became so famous that they were like, okay, well, let's do this. And it was kind of like from there, from cutesy short videos, switched to longer live streams. Maybe I should do some live streams.
Then came 2020, along with COVID. No one was touching grass, so everyone was watching VTubers, naturally. People started translating Hololive clips to English, and it really popped off in the West. Especially clips from one particular orange dragon. Well, there are English fans watching Japanese VTubers.
So I guess this VTuber is one of the most popular VTubers out there. What was her name? The orange dragon? I forgot her name. Kyriakoko, I believe.
English VTubing truly broke through the roof only when Hololive Myth came along.
You are! You need me to give you some head pads?
Yeah, that'd be nice actually.
Diamond City lights illuminate what's inside and all the love I...
Okay.
Fast forward to 20...
Well, as you can see, I'm not copying these like pretty male style, anime style characters. I've got my own style here. I'm anime, I swear. But Myth was a group of VTubers under Hololive English, and it was and they had like male characters, I believe.
What's inside and all the love I...
And so this is around where it's even becoming more and more popular over here in the West.
Forward to 2023. Now it's so many fans, some more agencies were established, some IRL streamers turned to VTubing, and Nijisanji even made male VTubers relevant in the West.
Okay, so I guess 2023.
Amazing. And here we end our trip down memory lane. There's more to come, more to
I want to know how she's like in this environment. I don't know what software she's using. And like she's doing total like full body tracking and stuff. So that's kind of crazy. I might decide to do that, rig up my character and do like full body, because I can't move my arms. Like this is the extent I can move my arms.
See, more to enjoy, and I hope all of you can stick around for the rest of the history together with me, with all of us.
All right, well, thank you very much, Fillion. Have your fill. Links in the description. But 2024 and beyond, of course, I make my debut. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I did not make, I guess I made a debut video, but it was not really just a debut. I should make a debut video, you know? Oh, but let's do a little point of comparison here, because I wanted to look at the top VTubers now. But let's look at the top YouTubers in general, just to have a little comparison. Because I was like, oh, what are the top channels? Mr. Beast, obviously, 339 million subscribers. That's crazy. That's freaking insane. T-Series, of course, I don't know if you remember back several years ago, PewDiePie and T-Series were battling for dominance. They were trying to get to 100 million subscribers. And PewDiePie, no, I think T-Series got there first. T-Series has been continuing to grow. They're like an Indian music record label and videos and stuff. Yeah, they're huge. India's big on YouTube. Like a lot of these are Indian channels, several. So you can see here, India. So that's crazy. Like, why is India so big on YouTube? Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to look that up. So, we got Cocomelon. A lot of these I've never heard of. There's several Russian as well. It's like Russian is one of the top as well. Of course, PewDiePie, which is not really doing much these days. He's just posting here and there vlog style videos talking about different topics here and there. So yeah, I'm not super familiar with some of these, like Cristiano. He's a sports football player, or soccer. Eminem. So a lot of these are musicians, right? Some of these I do recognize. Mark Robert, Dude Perfect, although I never really watched that. And then Marshmallow. So yeah, musicians, basically, a lot of them. But when you're talking about the top YouTubers, you're talking about hundreds of millions of views, all the way up to like 90s, 80s, 70s. The 50th is 57 million. But let's go to the top VTubers. Top VTubers are up to 4.5 million. At least the ones that are recognized on hololist.net. So I don't know actually how to get them registered on here. Or maybe they go out and do the research. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, so we're only up to 4.5 million. Let's see if we can get into the tens of millions, right? But this one I do recognize, Gargura, because she's one of the most recognizable looks. Like, she's got the whole shark aesthetic, but it's like a shark hoodie, which is kind of funny. But yet she is also aquatic because she's got like a tail. So she's like aquatic, but then has a shark hoodie. I think it's funny. And then Kazuna AI, we already know who that is. Number 3, Fillion. Do we? No. Oh, we were looking at like Phil, but I think it was a different Fillion that we were just watching. So yeah, we're going from 4.5 million, and there's many pages here, but if we go to the last, this has VTubers all the way down to 2 subscribers. So I just think it's kind of cool how we're up to like 4,000 plus VTubers. Again, I have to look and see what this list actually is and how they get them. It says here a comprehensive database of virtual content creators, including VTubers, VStreamers, and Virtual Up, which I do not know what that is. So I don't know how they get the list. I'm going to have to research that a little bit. I want to find out. And then if they're comprehensive, they would have me on it too, right? So if I was on here, because I have like 140, almost 150 subscribers, I would be, I believe it's like page 130 or something like that. Let's see if I can go back here. Let's see what page I would be on here. Come on, let's go. Almost there. Yeah, I would be right. One more. 130. Oh, I was right. I'd be 130 between probably John Diago and 27. So I'd be between these two dudes right here. Oh, look, a lot of them are dudes. Dude. So I just wanted to look at how big VTubers are right now. We've grown so much. But the next thing I wanted to look at was just to see what's happening with the VTuber market, to see what kind of potential there is. This is a analysis 2024 to 2029, and this is easy to find online. Just look at market size of virtual YouTuber, VTuber market, or something like that. But it's expected to go up from 2.6 to 4.12 billion dollars. So not double, but maybe, what is that, 30-40% increase by 2029. So we're talking about another basically 4 or 5 years from now. I guess 4 years or so, going up like I guess, what is that, 30%, something like that. What is that? What is CAGR of 9.52%? Rapidly evolving, propelled by technology, innovations, and shifting consumer tastes. Multilingual VTubers are broadening their horizons. I need to learn another language. Or do it in Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo estás, señores y señoritas? Estoy VTuber. I can do Spanish. I guess I'll appeal to the Hispanic audience. But apparently, India is really big on YouTube, so maybe I should learn Indian languages. Or maybe obviously Japanese or other like Korean language. I don't know. That's kind of tough. Like, should I be a multilinguist, whatever you call that, and learn like 4 different languages? It's probably a good idea. Although you'd have to then create videos for each language separately. So maybe just like dub them with AI. That might be a good idea. So let's see. There's trends. Oh, that's the other thing. The super chat. So VTubers are really big with super chatting, which is crazy. People are really supportive of VTubers. 70% of the top super chat earners on platforms like YouTube are VTubers, underscoring the lucrative potential of this segment. So that's really cool. I think that's super cool. I'm definitely going to get super chats from my biggest fans. Thank you very much. And in return, I'll love you forever and create amazing VTubing content and, do amazing things just for you. Just for you. Engagement with virtual reality by age. So what is this? So engagement is like 16 to 35 or 44, I guess 16 or 44. So, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, Asia Pacific is expected to hold a major share of the market. So if you want to get into VTubing, maybe learn an Asian Japanese type language, I don't know. Maybe it might be a good idea. Maybe I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll learn Japanese. Here are the VTuber markets. What is this? High, medium, low. So we're medium here in the West, basically. I guess this is popularity, if I'm not mistaken. Accessing VTuber content. Okay, so high would be basically Asia, I guess, Australia too, I guess. Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking like for the future, it's probably a good idea to learn an Asian language, Japanese, something like that, Korean, and just get a character and start up. You know what I'm saying? Market concentration in the middle, not consolidated. Market dominated by 1 to 5 major players. Or versus fragmented, highly competitive market without dominant players. So this was probably like several years ago, right? Like probably 2014, 2016 is when it was fragmented. Probably before the teams, 2011. But now it's starting to get some words right here in the middle. Market news. All right. So that's basically what I wanted to see, is just what the market's like right now and where it's going. And then, yeah, that was one thing that was like super cool was the most super chatted YouTube channels are VTubers. And here and then like the top one is a pastor. So, man, those pastors, so either be a VTuber or a pastor, right? If you want. Now, here's one thing crazy. Timcast is number 10. Timcast is political. And the only political in the top 20 super chatted channels, and he boasts this a lot if you watch Timcast at all, he'll be like, yeah, we're one of the top. And he talks a lot about how much money he makes and stuff. Sometimes it's for good reason because he's talking about money and stuff. But anyway, religious, and then number 3, VTuber, blah, 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 till number 9, and then it's Timcast, and then it's VTuber, and then it's entertainment, which I don't know what that is, entertainment, and then everything else is VTuber except for gaming channel, Japanese, and everything is Japanese except for a couple English and a Portuguese. So this, if you want to make some good money on YouTube, the VTubing, it could be a good way to go. I mean, people are really engaged with VTubers, it seems like, because it's probably just because it's fun. You know, it's fun. There's like a storyline. It's like a whole like story and world that you can immerse yourself in, and characters that you can have fun with. So, or be political, I guess. Except the thing is, like, there's only one political on here, so I don't know what Timcast is doing. Like, what is he doing to get so many millions of dollars of super chats? Why are people super chatting so much? Timcast, frankly, is a boring political channel. He talks about politics and stuff. But I guess you can be highly engaged in politics. I just don't know. I guess he somehow found that audience that is caring that much to post super chats. They want to be heard, I guess. But it's just crazy how there's no more political channels. It's just him. So somehow he found out some kind of formula. But yeah, I just find this super cool how it's all VTubers who are the highest super chatted channels, which is really cool. But that's kind of about it. I asked ChatGPT, which I'll ask again right here. What does the future of VTubing look like? And the future of VTubing, according to ChatGPT, AI-driven VTubers. Obviously, AI is like, you know, the next idea. So are we talking about like characters who are not humans, are not people behind the character? How it's AI? I don't know how many there are, but there are some successful ones. If you go onto like Instagram, there's a few that I know of. There could be a lot, and I just don't know. I don't know how many there are on YouTube. Like, I don't know how easy it is to create an AI VTuber that is interesting, you know? But you can definitely use AI for your content creation. So at the very least, coming up with ideas. Machine learning, personalizations, AI models could be trained. Let's see. Enhanced realism and immersion, real-time motion capture, deepfake technology. VR and AR is where I think the future's going to be, I guess, implemented with VTubers more, because that technology is also growing quite a bit. Virtual influencers, corporate integration, that's always been a thing, but maybe corporations these days are going to have VTubers as their sort of mascots and influencers, or creating, you know, like AI personalities and stuff to promote them. Like, I think they do more of that type of stuff in Japan, right? Let's see, virtual economies, NFTs. Yeah, not so much. I don't think. Cross-platform presence, multi-channel. It's hard to be multi-channel there. So maybe there's going to be a way to be more on all these different platforms. That's easier. You can go on Rumble too. I wonder how easy it is to be on Rumble as a VTuber. I haven't looked into that. Metaverse, yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe. I mean, as it gets better, maybe there's going to be like a metaverse where we can be like VTubers and stuff. I mean, obviously there's VR chat, but ethical and social implications. Okay, technology to watch. AI chatbots and GPT models, haptic feedback, and wearables. So that's what ChatGPT thinks is gonna happen. Here's one example of an AI VTuber. Oh, that's was kind of loud. Hold on. Oh no, we're good.
My new model. What do you guys think of it?
So
it can spin. Isn't that cool? Welcome, everyone. Thank you all so much for the super generous raids. Annie, Denusaw, Raristus7.
So I don't know if I didn't look into it more. I don't know if it's just the voice that's AI, and then like everything else is like animated by like the guy behind it, which I believe it's a guy. And then it's just like obviously the character, but the voice is the AI, because
This is about me. You might think you already know me, but you really have no idea.
But as of now, this is the state of AI VTubers. So like this is probably one of the better ones. And you're still managing it. You're probably recording the movements and everything with your body. And
I love anteaters.
I think so. This is
Well,
the turtle, I believe, is the actual guy that created this VTuber. So he talks in other videos and stuff. So I guess this is kind of like an idea if you want like some other kind of character, but you don't want to use your voice for whatever reason, or because like the character, it wouldn't make sense to have your voice if it's a female or a monster or something like that. Then you use an AI voice, but you don't have much control over AI. Like if you want to say something very excited, like, hey guys, you can't, how do you tell AI to do that? It doesn't just do that by itself. It doesn't just decide to whisper and then talk like a radio talk show host or a TV talk show host. Like AI, according to this video,
fan of him, though that's not a big secret. He can be such a
she just sounds kind of monotone. Now what you could do is you could like lean into that and make her look like a robot or something, you know. So, but anyways, that's basically AI VTubers at the moment. And this is a recent video. This is from the 21st. This is just one that I found. I haven't looked into this too much, so maybe there's better ones. But I don't know that you can just be like tell ChatGPT to program a VTuber, create the avatar, and then make a YouTube video about things that are about me, and then it'll create the visuals and the character and you know the avatar, and it'll be the same every video, and it'll talk in an interesting way. It can't do that yet. AI can't do that. So you still have to. There's still a lot of manpower behind it, but it can be interesting. Like you can create these characters, and they'll be unique. And not a lot of people, barely anyone, is doing this because it's a little bit difficult, and there's still a lot of work involved. It's probably more work than like what I'm doing, just being your own VTuber. So that's basically it. This is kind of a long video, but I just thought it would be cool to look and see what this industry is about, just because like I'm a VTuber now. Thank you very much. And just to get a little bit more knowledge about the history of it, as well as see where it's going, so I can just get an idea of what I should do with VTubing, if anything. Maybe I'll just leave it like this, and I'll just be this funky character. I feel like I look like a generic avatar for VTubers or something, like, you know, just the black and white generic avatar, like the generic Facebook, you know, like the icon that looks kind of sort of like a human, but with like a circle for a head or whatever. I feel like that's what my character looks like. Which is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. I did not want like an anime style VTubing, you know, character. Well, guys, thank you so much for going on this long journey with me. It was a journey of discovery. This was not, again, I'm not trying to teach you anything here because I don't really know anything. It was just me sharing what I learned with you together for the most part. I read through a lot of these things beforehand and watched a lot of these videos beforehand, but I just find it pretty fascinating, and I want to see where it goes from here. I want to see what people do with like with VR especially. I'm very interested in seeing what kind of applications VR could be used with, and how it'll be more mainstream, you know, and what kind of content, specifically what kind of content could be created for VR for people to consume, like YouTube videos, for example, but in a VR setting. Like what kind of videos, or not videos, but content could I create with a VR headset for VR consumption? Does that make sense? Not creating YouTube videos about VR, but rather, let's say there's some kind of 3D video experience on VR, and I create a 3D video experience for that program, for that app that people can watch with their VR headset. That's what I mean. And I think that some of those things are gonna start becoming more popular, or, you know, pop up. There's gonna be a new sort of content that has to come up. It can't just be flat screens, you know, forever, right? It's gotta be something else. 3D, whatever it is. I hope you guys have a great day. This is Chris the Lifeform, a VTuber. Bye, Prime.